Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is Brenda. In 30 minutes with Just Lions. It is another weekend night here, and it will be a very good night because tonight we are going to have a very workaholic woman, a very inspiring woman, and I think and I feel that she's someone that I can look after or I can look into when it comes to community service. With no further ado, please help me welcome our District Governor, Denise Bruce. Hello, Denise. Good
Hello.
evening.
Good evening, Brenda, and thank you for having me this evening.
Yeah, how are
Well,
you? And
I'm
and then
very,
how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Sorry about
Yes,
that. Yeah, and then you're doing fine. You're doing all right.
yes, I'm doing very well. Yes,
Thank you so much for that. And then, by the way, I would like to inform everybody also that our live stream tonight is also being shown or live in our YouTube channel. And at the same time, it will be in our podcast platforms later tonight by midnight at Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iListener, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So if you those who can't watch our live tonight, they can catch up through our podcast platforms. Anyway, Denise, I have a question for you.
yes,
Yes, are you ready?
yes, I'm ready.
Okay. We don't know much about you. I think only a few those close friends of you knows more about you, but um, those from different places, uh, were asking who is Denise Bruce.
Well,
Who is
well,
she? So, tonight, Denise Bruce, I would like to tell that she is our 201 entry district governor. Okay, this is a district club from Lions. Okay, Denise, I have a question.
yes.
How, when, and what made you decide to join Lions Club?
Well, I was born in Gosford, and about 17 years ago, we moved to Gloucester, where we
17 years
purchased.
ago. 17
Yeah,
years
well,
ago.
actually, it was 19 years ago when we actually moved to Gloucester. We moved there, and because we just felt we needed a change, we needed to move out. So we moved to Gloucester, and I was invited to a couple of Lions social events.
Mm-hmm.
So I attended them, and I had a great time. I met some wonderful people, and then they asked me if I'd like to attend a meeting and work on some events, which I also agreed to do. And I found it very interesting. I felt that it was a way for me to get to know more people in the town.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined. I joined in around the June 2006. And I've never regretted it. I've had lots of wonderful times, wonderful experiences, and most importantly, I've met some wonderful people.
So, what drives you to join? Aside from that, is it
What drives?
a
Well, I
passion?
felt that.
Yeah, is it your passion? Was there a passion within you to serve communities?
Yes, I think it was a passion to serve the community, for the community, for me to learn more about the community as well. You know what it involved, and being able to see the gratitude and appreciation that came from the public when we did do an event that helped the community. They were very grateful, and it was great to see all the smiles and get to know them a little bit better as well. So,
Okay, so you started your Lions life in Gloucester, right?
yes, yes, that's where I started. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then being in the Lions, doing activities. Do you have that kind of feeling that you made the right decision?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I definitely made the right decision. Um, and as I said, as I've grown and I've seen outside my own community what happens, how generous people are. I think that is something that opened my eyes. Just how generous people are, especially in the case of a disaster. And I do know that when Dungog and Stroud were flooded a few years ago, the generosity that poured in from from clubs and people that we didn't even know was really a fulfilling moment. I think, to think that they would you know come to the help of these towns that were absolutely inundated with floods at the time. So, and I think even today with our ALF and our LCIF, where we give to these foundations and the money goes out to help those that have had disasters, whether it be a flood or a fire, anything that, people are so generous to give and help these people out, which is, very rewarding for me. Yes.
So you moved to Gloucester 17 years ago. So meaning to say you've been a lion for 17 years now. Is
I've
that
been
correct?
alive, yes, for 17 years, yes.
Yeah. And so, and because you've been aligned, so it was you who dragged your husband to be part of the lion also, right? You are the
Um,
you are the great influence, I think.
I think we were both asked about the same time to join,
Yeah.
and we just thought, well, it's just another way that we could give back to our new community. So, we both decided to join, and as I said, we've met wonderful people that probably if we hadn't belonged to Lions, we may never have met or come in contact with.
Okay. Uh, Within your community, within your in Gloucester,
Mhm.
you have seen many communities around your area that was really in need. How you manage to help them? How you extend that kind of help that there's no one being left behind.
Well, I suppose a story that we did have, we had a lady in Gloucester who was had cancer, and the family were finding it very difficult to cope. So, along with Rotary and Lions, we both had gave vouchers. We gave a voucher to purchase items from IGA, our local store, and Rotary gave to a meat vouchers. So, that was just one incidence where we helped a community. We help our schools,
Yeah.
to purchase books as for presentation on presentation night. We've also helped the Gloucester Hospital,
Yeah.
and also numerous sporting clubs we've helped as well. So it's been varied over the whole area of the community.
Within the club, have you able to I know you ended up the district governor because you have a very good portfolio being in alliance. But when you were holding a position within your community before you become the district governor, what burden you have to handle? You have to really to take on, as as the president, or as the president of the club.
Yes, I was a president for 5 years, and I don't really think I had, a great burden, as you would say. I think
Yeah.
that um, e- everything sort of has always worked pretty smoothly in
Mm-hmm.
Gloucester, and so as far as a major burden while I was president. We didn't really have a major burden. I suppose you might say we need more members,
Yeah,
which
I think
it's,
that's the,
it's
that's
not a
the
burden.
concerns of every club, to get more members, to
Yes,
increase the numbers.
yes, yes. So that was probably, that's always been an ongoing, um,
Yeah,
thing that's
yeah,
happened
concern,
within our
ongoing,
clubs. But
ongoing, ongoing concern.
yes, that's right. But apart from that, I haven't really had a major burden.
Yeah,
We've always cooperated pretty well in our club, and so things have really run quite smoothly.
do you have a big numbers of members within your club?
No, we only have 12 members at the moment, but we hopefully, we're keeping our fingers crossed that we will have two new members very shortly.
Oh, that's
And
good.
yeah,
And
they seem very,
congratulations. Yeah,
very enthusiastic.
yeah. Congratulations in advance if you can take them on board.
Yes, we will
Yeah,
try. We will
yeah.
try.
Okay. Talking about roles, you were elected as our current district governor in District 201 and 3. Yes.
Yes.
So, can you share with us the programs and activities that the district been doing for since you started your role?
Well, to become a district governor, it's about a 3-year training course.
Mm-hmm.
You go to you in my years though, unfortunately, we were handicapped because of COVID.
Yeah.
And there was a few institute courses that I would have liked to have done, but because of COVID, they were cancelled. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I was unable to attend those. But we do have international training from America,
Yeah.
and we also have our own training here in Australia, which helps you to cope with different situations that may occur while you're district governor, to promote lines, and also to promote our 5 pillars, which most clubs within 201 and 3 do participate in. So,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end, it is a long journey, and it is sometimes a very rewarding journey. You can have lots of ups and downs, of course, as well within clubs, which they train you to cope with.
Yeah.
So if there's a situation, and if I can't handle it, well, there's always somebody within the association who can help
Yeah,
that club,
because
that
yeah,
person.
because I think even though we are holding a position, it doesn't mean that we know everything. We doesn't
Exactly,
need help. We need help. We need,
exactly.
yeah. So, with this one, uh, how many clubs all in all within your district?
We have about 56 clubs, and at the moment we have 1,058
So
members.
56 clubs and then 1,058 members.
Yes, yes.
So this 56 clubs is all over your district. So how you manage to see these clubs if you want to visit? So you have an itinerary or you do scheduling.
Yes, yes. I've had a wonderful cabinet secretary, and she has arranged, prior to me becoming district governor, she arranged with all the clubs for a visit. And I have completed my visitation to each club last December, except for one, which your club, Jasmine Club, always have their district governor visit around Australia Day.
Yeah.
So you were my very last club to visit, which I must admit was a pleasure to visit you. So, and how we get around is my husband, who's been my driver, he drives
Driver
to
bodyguard.
Yes. He drives me to the event, and then he drives me, and then we come home. When we did a few of the clubs that
Well, you live
are a
in
distance
Gloucester,
from
and then
home.
if you come around, you live in Gloucester, and if you come around, that's too far from you. About 2 hours coming here and 2 hours going back.
Yes, that's right. We do that. We went to a lot of the clubs down on the Central Coast, and we did come home again. Some of them we did stay overnight, but most of them we came home. It's nice to wake up in your own bed. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
So
and he doesn't mind driving. So,
yeah. Oh, good on him. Yeah, and you're lucky. Anyway, within the district, what projects or programs or activities that you hoping that each club will going to adapt and you know and and then get involved with the community.
yes, well, I
If you
think
have
that's an
certain projects, if you have certain projects in your mind that you're hoping that each club should adapt and then go out and introduce it to the community.
Yeah, I think that the five pillars, if each club could do at least one or two of the five pillars, and also bring in some partners, from other organisations that will help them with those projects. Our five pillars are, of course, childhood cancer research, which has gone ahead leaps and bounds now. We
Mm-hmm.
have the environment. Um, what else do we have? We have the environment. We have diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the main killers in Australia. We also have vision, which looks at people's vision. Which now we have a new program called LEAP, which is
Yeah.
the eye health of children. Which there's about four different things that children do, and this will allow the alliance to recognise if they do need to go to an optometrist. I think this is a great initiative, and I would encourage all clubs, if they are able to participate in it, in this great event.
So
So
you are anticipating that each clubs would uh, do these projects.
at least one or two of them, I think. Some of them,
Yeah.
they may have a
Not
great
that, yeah,
interest.
they can choose. They can choose. You mean to say they
Yes,
can choose what they want to adopt, right?
that's
They
right.
want,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't have to do them all. They can, do one or two, and then of course there could be a special project that they want to do in their own community, such as say do a Lions Park, or
yeah.
maybe help with sporting events, things like that. So each club, I'd like to see them venture out, look outside the square at
Yeah.
something that they might be able to achieve
Yeah, because
within their club.
and I believe there's a lot more there that we can do aside from this. We can do,
Yes,
yeah. Aside from this, I know this is a big one, but there are small things there that we can also venture. We can, well, that's good to hear about Denise. These projects, and I am hoping that the 56 clubs can adopt your the kind of project that you are looking forward to have a realization. You know, so being a district governor during your tenure, what have you learned?
what have I learned?
Yeah.
Well, I've learned to be a little bit more proficient with the computer.
Yeah.
That's been quite a task. Um, as I said before, I've learned just how giving people are, and Lions are. They're so generous. They'll go out of their way to help people, make donations. And I've learned that every club have their own way of doing things, and
Mhm.
as long as they're doing things ethically, I think that that's the way that they should go. Of course, the biggest concern we do have is, of course, our membership.
Yeah.
with our membership is declining, and and it's not really through the maybe the fault of anyone in lines. It's just part of the way the world is moving at today in today's
Yeah.
society.
I think we Lions need to work harder to get more members. I think.
Well, I must say though, Brenda, that I'm very proud of a lot of the clubs because
Yeah.
they really have gone out of their way to run
Exactly.
events, to run
Yeah.
these events, to try and bring in new blood,
Yeah.
and of course too, my year was I wanted to have it as the year that we promote youth
Mm-hmm.
because we
Yeah.
do have we do have 4 Leo clubs and we do have one Amiga Legos club.
Yeah.
So that was mainly my aim is was to try and grow them and also to bridge the gap between the long-standing members and the younger members of Lions. So, and I think we're going along pretty well with that. The Omega Lions last weekend had a conference
Yes.
in
Yes. And one of my daughter was with that was
oh,
there.
was she? All
Yeah.
right.
There.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I've had nothing but praise from people who were there and have said what a wonderful job the um, the Omega Leo Club has done for the Leos. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of them, and I'm very proud that we've been able to achieve that.
Yeah. Okay, before it's only couple of months before you're going to step down as the district
Yes.
governor of 201 and 3. Now, what projects you have at the moment that you are hoping that the next district governor will going to continue?
Well, I hope that the district governor really promotes the membership drive that we've had. I hope he continues with that, which I'm sure he will. And also, I think um, with our leap, I think that is another project that I would really like to see him continue with. And I think too a big thing that we have to achieve in our Lions clubs is that we have succession. That we try to bring in other people to take on the executive positions. So because by having new presidents, new secretaries, and so forth, it brings new ideas. It
Exactly.
motivates clubs, brings them out of their complacency, and
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to be motivated. So I'm hoping that there's some of the projects that I'd like to see him continue.
So so you're hoping that these projects will continue in the next year, next
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah. So before you going to step down or go back to your club,
yes.
go back to your club. We can't see you that much anymore. So what aside from what you said, what you learned, uh, that what you learned, what do you get from it in your as a personal thing?
My personal thing. I
Yes,
think it's.
your
I think
personal,
it's.
your personal what you call that take out.
Yeah. I think the I think really the main thing that I've taken away is the um, the way that both Alec and I were accepted when we visited the clubs, and I think also the wonderful people that we met. People with great ideas and motivated. Um, they were it's just so encouraging to see different clubs how they work. They all work differently, but they're all performing magnificently. So even though we need to grow our clubs, I think that the most rewarding thing is the people that we've met, the lines that we've met. I think that's the thing that has touched my heart the most, I think.
Okay, before we go, why Lions Club?
Why Lions Club? Well, I was invited to attend a Rotary meeting when I first moved to Gloucester, but I just felt that they weren't as welcoming as Lions. I didn't think that they, and besides, you had to give more time to Rotary than what you do to Lions. In Rotary, you have to go, well, in Gloucester, you have to attend 4 meetings a month. And being in business, I didn't think that I could do that much as well as keep up everything within our business. So Lions got the nod. And I think, too, the most beneficial thing that I found with Lions, and I'm not going to say this doesn't happen in other service clubs, but I do know in Lions that the money that we take from the public, we give back to the public in some form. So, for Lions to be able to exist, those that are members keep the administration going from their pockets. It's not coming from the public; it's coming out of their own pockets,
Yeah.
which I think is wonderful, because it allows us to give more to those in need, and and they're not having to pay for anything. They can accept it with our gratitude, with our help. So,
Okay, the next question. Aside from your takeaway, how are you going to see yourself in the next 2 years, 5 years?
oh, gee, well, I hope to do a fair bit of travelling in that period of time. Get out there and see Australia. Um, it's something that we've both wanted to do for a long time, but due to our commitment, we weren't able to do it. So apart and see Australia, and hopefully we would like to go to the British Isles because my husband is half Scottish, so
Yeah.
we'd like to visit where his father was from. So that, and also continue, pardon me, continue our service with Lions.
And then what you want to see about Lions Club after 5 years?
I'd like to see them that they have increased their membership by 100%, because it is very rewarding, and for any of those that do become Lions, they will be rewarded in some way, and that's what I'd like to see. Our Lions Club continue to serve their community, their nation, and also those countries that are less fortunate than us.
What benefits you being a lion?
Oh, what's benefited me? Um, I suppose I've become a more compassionate person. And
That's on personal level, right?
pardon?
In personal, you within personal level, you
Yeah,
being more
yeah,
compassionate.
I'm more compassionate, but yeah, I think I'm more compassionate. I think I'm a better listener than what I
Mm-hmm.
was, and um, and I hope that where I have been consulted on issues, that I've done that issue justice. So, to learn to cope better with all situations. I think they've been my
Okay,
personal.
then, that's good to hear about this because each of us had really get something. Not to be greedy in some ways, but it helps.
Mm,
With a lion, it helps us personally. And then I must admit because I also receive how gracious lions could be.
yes,
With what I was in right now, uh, their help is always there around. They're ready to give hand to,
that's
yeah, to
yes, that's
yeah,
right.
to help. Yeah. Okay. Before we go, can you please invite everybody or to become a member, or what, or tell everybody what needs to be done, and then what projects you have, and then wishing everybody for well.
Wishing everyone, well, I'd like to encourage anybody who has some spare time on their hands to consider becoming a Lion. As I've said, they will be rewarded personally and professionally if they decide to give a hand to Lions. Lions are there to help in many ways, whether we help in our community, whether we help with our nation, because especially now where we've had so many disasters, and I do know that they are still seeking help in the N4 district, which is down around Forbes area where they had the last lot of floods. You know, their funds are running short, and they would, of course, like anybody to donate to that LCIF. I think if we can encourage more people to become a Lion, and as I said, they will be definitely rewarded in some way.
Yeah, that's right.
They come
Thank
along.
you.
We're an awesome organisation with
Yes, we
wonderful
are.
people here, Brenda.
Yes, we are, and I can tell everybody that we are. We really help everybody who really needs help. Thank you
We do.
so much, Denise, and happy Easter to
Thank
you. And
you.
then say my regards to Alec. And then
Yes.
that's for tonight. We wrap up for tonight. And good night, everyone. Until next Saturday. Happy Easter. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody. Thank you, Brenda.
Thanks, Denise. Bye.
Bye.